Alright, this next step, you're going to need newspaper, and you're going to need to pull out your duct tape. So, basically what we're just going to do, we're going to take this head, and because male, or actually not really, anyone's head is actually shaped like one of these things, but for a male who tends to have like more, it depends on if you want a muscular male, but what you want to do, you want to just bring out the freaky curvature of these heads a little bit. Look at that. Yeah. So you just want to fill that in, and also if you want a male zombie, you're going to want to pronounce the cheeks a bit more, have more of a rigid jawline. So for that, I'm just going to tear up some newspaper, and I'm going to lay it over top of the jawline just to make it a bit more pronounced. Same with the neck. So let's get to work on that then, shall we? Remember, just like with the masking tape, you want to do your best not to cross over any of the seams. So, yeah, just with this one here, I'm going to have to because the thing comes down here, but that'll be good because when it explodes, this one chunk of the head will just be hanging off. If it might just get blown off, I'm not sure. Everyone's different. So, yeah, I'm just going to start work on that. Sometimes it might help just to tape the end of this together a bit, so it's easier to work with. Just so you know, the reason I'm using duct tape for this, it has a nice smooth texture, and that's good for this sort of thing, because it just like, it sticks all this down, you got like sort of a skin smooth texture to lay your other tape on over top of that, because you can't paint on duct tape, it chips off. So yeah, it's just so it looks smoother when you put the other tape on, just for the record. Alright, now you should have something that looks more or less like this. So you see you got all the little bits fleshed out and stuff. It looks more human. Now, again, you can feel free to elaborate with all of that stuff. This is a zombie, it has been rotting for a while. I'm just doing this because it's quick. I'm just making a quick head just to blow up. It's only going to be shown for a short part of the film. So yeah. So now what you want to do, you want to start working on fleshing out the nose and the eyes. Don't worry if your jawline's coming out a bit more like this. You can always, it's a zombie, remember, it's been rotting for a bit. Things will change. It looks better that way too. You don't need to follow the nose exactly, or any of the eyes. Just put them there as guidelines, and be creative as how you want the eyes to look. So yeah, I'm just going to start working on that. For that, you can use either newspaper, which again is something you need, or you can use tinfoil. Tinfoil works good because you can mold the shapes you want a bit more with it. Because it, well, you know, it's like metal, it holds its shape a bit more. But newspaper works better if you're on a lower budget. I think I'm going to use the tinfoil. Actually, no, I think I'll use a combination of the two. But anyhow, without further ado, let's get back to work, shall we? Alright, now after all that, you should have something that looks a bit like this. Again, you can do it however you want, like the nose, for example, is just my interpretation. I think it turned out pretty cool. Anyhow, moving on to the mouth. Now, I tend to do it with a closed mouth simply because that's easier, and I'm going to do it in this case simply because, again, I am doing this quickly. I just want to get this head done. I might, if it was another case, I might put some more work into it, but this is only going to be shown for a quick, very quick chunk of the film. So, yeah. Again, I think I put the nose a bit low, but that doesn't really matter because, well, you know, it's rotting, right? Anything could happen if it's rotting. Little imperfections like that just sort of add to the creepiness of the zombie. So, I guess I'll get to work on that now. Again, using tinfoil. by the way, sorry I can't get any lower with this camera. I'm just using the camera built in my computer. The camera doesn't really go any lower than that. Anyhow, moving on. There we go. That looks pretty good, doesn't it? Now what you want to do next, just because paint doesn't stick to duct tape, you're going to want to go over that with masking tape, because tape does stick to masking tape. Again, ears. Ears are another important thing you need for a normal human head. Unless, of course, you want to choose an alternative, like having just like some ripped up stuff there and like blood dripping out, so it looks like either the ears were ripped off, or maybe something happened to the ears before this person became zombified. I usually don't do ears. I try and find alternatives, gory alternatives to ears. But in this case, I have an ear off of an old zombie head I can use. So I'm going to use one of these, and I'll do something else with the other one. So, yeah, just going to attach that and cover the rest of this duct tape with masking tape. Let's go. Alright, you should have something that looks like this. Now all you need to do is paint it and like add other little bits to it. I'm going to find some easy alternative to that ear there. But yeah, you don't really need to see me doing this. I mean, you must be getting sick of these fast-forward things. I'm just going to cut to it once it's finished. And you can't really see what I'm doing down here because my camera doesn't, the computer's camera doesn't go all the way down here. So it really doesn't make a difference. But, oh, what the hell, I'll show you anyway. It's not like you guys have anything better to do, right? Don't take that as an insult. Well, there you have it. A relatively cheap and rather cool-looking zombie head. Now all we need to do is make it blow up. And, I'll be doing that in the next part. I have to wait a couple days till I post that, though. I got some stuff coming up. But until then, well, if you want to try and do this yourself, please give it a try. It's not hard at all. And yeah, if you do, email me the video, and I want to see what you guys do if you want to try it. Next time you see this head, it might have some other little details added to it. For instance, a hat, because I'm too lazy to do hair. And this is just going to be for a quick little bit, so I don't really want to put all the work into hair. But, for now, that is all. Catch you in part 2.